This is the last week of documenting my fat loss journey. It's been about 2 months since I started documenting, which is longer than I would have hoped, but I am happy to say that I have reached my goal weight by losing 27 pounds. But it's really good to look back on because if you ask teenage me who was super insecure about being fat and couldn't change it despite multiple attempts, he'd be really proud to see that it's now something that I have under my control and down to a process. This time around, though, I plateaued way earlier than I expected, and the goal of making this into an online challenge was to kind of break out of that plateau and instead keep my fat loss consistent instead of having times where it was really aggressive and then no fat loss at all. The reason for that is simple. I honestly wasn't putting in enough time and effort into planning my meals for the day, and even if I did plan them, I wasn't always sticking to it. I just eat way more than I needed to, and I didn't use the willpower that I had on that. Instead, I tried to use it on, my work, and I didn't do enough cardio to offset this damage because I was pretty busy at the time and I just told myself I would do it later when that didn't actually end up happening. But by posting this online, it's a little bit of a two for one where it's given me a lot of accountability, even if nobody were to watch. So it caused me to take immediate steps like buying a standing desk to get my 10,000 steps in a day and writing my meal plans the night before without having to sacrifice things like eating out with friends. I would have liked to get down to visible abs like I have in the past, but I had to remind myself that the main goal was just to lean down enough so that I could start my next bulk. And as for finishing this week, I might have had the busiest 2 weeks this year at work, but I didn't use it as an excuse, so I just pivoted where I could. I did home workouts with whatever I had laying around, kind of like I did during the pandemic, and my body adapted to the feeling of being hungry, which is kind of normal. It's just in these days when food is like so readily available, we don't really get to that point. What I'm glad to leave behind though is seeing my strength go down every week because that was low key depressing. But I plan to document my bulk into a challenge as well to see how much I can increase my bench and deadlift by in a span of like a month or two. So if you want to see that, follow for more.